I've come to the conclusion that surf casting, it's a lifestyle. I mean, look around us, look at the water. There's so many places like this in the Northeast, and this is just one of them, for example. But there's so many different scenarios and situations, and in these different scenarios and situations, you have to be in tune with your environment. You have to know your tides, your winds, what's going on, what bait is in the area, what fish are feeding on. All these come together, and when you truly figure them all out is what makes it the most rewarding. When I think about surf casting, I think of a lifestyle choice. You know, it's what I live, it's what I breathe, it's what I do. I barely sleep doing it, of course. But look around us. I mean, places like this, they exist all over the Northeast. We're on the Long Island Sound right now. There's also sand beaches, there's boulder, shorelines, there's Montauk, there's Cape Cod, there's the beaches in Jersey. All of us have one thing in common, and we love to do one thing, and that's surf casting. And the reason why we love it is because we're so in tune with our surroundings, and really when we do figure it all out, the tides, the winds, the bait that the fish are feeding on, whether it be fluke, weak fish, striped bass, it's rewarding. There's nothing like it, really isn't. It all comes together, and that's what paints the whole picture for us, and that's why we love to do it, and we'd have it no other way. The one thing about surf casting is it's very taxing on the body. It's a physical activity, and well, that's because you're fishing a beach and the terrain is unforgiving. There's rocky shorelines that you have to traverse across, so you have to walk for miles to find these fish sometimes. You're casting over and over and over again until you finally get that hit or what you're looking for. You need the right equipment that's going to handle the task. You need the rods that are really going to hold up cast after cast, fish after fish sometimes if you're into them. And that's what sometimes makes or breaks you in this sport. Quite the opposite of boat fishing, in surf casting, accuracy and distance do make a difference. Sometimes you'll see fish feeding a far distance off the beach, and having the right tools and the right rod to reach those fish do make a difference. It comes down to a number of different scenarios when you're surf casting. For example, when you're fishing an open beach, sometimes you have to reach the fish on that outer bar where you want to put on a 3-ounce jig and get the most distance that you possibly can. Or if you're in the back bay and fishing the marshes, sometimes you want to have an accurate cast where you're placing that plug right next to the marshes where those fish are typically feeding on small bait fish. Or if we're moving to a rocky shoreline where there's boulders and you hook into that trophy fish, you want to stop that fish before it makes a run for that boulder and cuts you off, unfortunately. When we're talking surf rods, St. Croix has everything you need in the Seage Surf series. Durability is a big factor when you're fishing the surf. You do by accident ding the rod or fall, you don't have to worry about the durability of this rod. St. Croix's SC2 carbon fiber technology in the Seage Surf offers a lighter rod as well as a stronger rod. So if you're casting all day, making hundreds of casts, and you're casting bigger plugs, you're not going to get fatigued. And in the long run, more casts will equal more fish. One neat thing about the Seage Surf is it offers a 70-30 split model with an offset ferrule, and the cool thing about this is you get two-piece convenience but a one-piece feel at the same time. When you're fishing the surf, you're going to be faced with some of the harshest conditions out there. Between the abusiveness of braid and the tough terrain, St. Croix has you covered. Stainless Gunsmoke frames are going to hold up to anything the surf has to throw at you. This rod has the feel, castability, and fish fighting power of a custom rod due to its Seaguide MPS reel seats with integrated black hoods, X-Flock covered slim diameter handles, and wind comfort focused foregrips. While today I have the 10-foot model, this rod does come in 12 different models from 7 to 12 feet in numerous lengths and actions. They have you covered for any scenario here fishing in the Northeast. When St. Croix initially designed this rod, it was an honor to be reached out to, along with many other anglers as well. There's nothing like first-hand experience when it comes to designing something, and between the components on this rod and the action of all these different rods in the lineup, it makes one sweet surf rod, and I encourage you to give it a try.